Okay, guys, we will go ahead and get started today. So my name is Katie Kuznia, and I am an admission counselor here at Illinois College. And joined with me today, I've got Megan Roman, who is our women's or the head softball coach, and then also Evan Philpott, who's our men's head soccer coach as well. They also each have a student athlete with them. So we have both John and Maddie with us as well. So just kind of a heads up, today's session is the NCAA Division III Student Athlete Experience, specifically at Illinois College. So today I hope to be able to connect you with these two coaches and student athletes as well. And so if you have any questions today, I want to let you know that at the bottom, you will see a chat button. So feel free to click on that, type any questions during the session, and then we will be sure to answer those in the end. We'll do about 10-15 minutes of content, and then we'll also have some time for questions in the end. So just continue to type those out, and we'll be sure to help you in the end. But Meg, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you.
Thanks, Katie. Hi, everybody. Like Katie said, I'm Megan Roman. I'm the head softball coach here at Illinois College. And I'm really excited that you guys could join us. I know that this is probably not the way that you wanted to do a college visit, but we're happy to be able to provide you with as much information we can about Illinois College and being a student athlete here. And hopefully we could get you on campus soon to see all this stuff in person. So as Coach Philpott and I were talking about how we want to do this session, you know, we really thought about 3 really important things that we think are unique to the student athlete experience here at Illinois College. The first of which are our facilities. And with that is just the facilities are our wow factor. Hopefully, like I said, you get on campus here soon, and as soon as you step on campus, you're going to be amazed by the facilities that we have. But once that wow factor kind of wears off, we think the 2 things that we do exceptionally well here, one is just the people that we have on campus. We have some amazing support staff people here to support our student athletes and everything that we do. Like I said, when you get on campus, you'll feel that community feeling just kind of right away. And lastly, we just provide a really awesome student athlete experience. Hopefully, Maddie and John will agree with me and not make a liar out of me when you hear about all the good things that they have to say about being a student athlete. So actually, the first thing I'm going to do is talk about the facilities here. So to do that, I'm going to share my screen with you guys. And I'm going to take you through, oh, I got a note that says host disabled participant screen sharing. I don't know if someone can help with that. Well, Erica's getting that figured out. I'll just kind of walk through. I know that you guys can all go on the website and look at pictures of our facilities, but I thought it would be kind of cool to kind of do a little bit of a virtual tour of some of our facilities, some of the things that we've recently upgraded, some of the things that we plan to upgrade here in the near future. Our administration is very supportive of athletics. I've been here for 10 years, and every single one of our athletic facilities has received a major upgrade in my time here, and we continue to do so on a regular basis, which I think our student athletes really appreciate, shows the commitment that we have. So it looks like things are good. So I'm going to go ahead and share this screen with you guys. Can everybody see that? Can you guys see the pictures? Okay, perfect. So this first picture here down at the bottom, that's just Bruner, one of the coolest pictures. That's our athletic building. And then I put this big picture here on the left because one of the coolest parts about the Bruner Center is that when you walk down this concourse, this is the first thing you walk into. If you walk down from where we are right now all the way to those doors at the end, you can literally see every single competitive facility that we have here at Illinois College. And it's a really awesome, one of my favorite things is in the fall when everybody's practicing and you walk down that concourse and you can literally see teams and student athletes out on every field and court and track and all that good stuff. So it's a pretty awesome setup from that sense. This next picture is obviously a really great shot of our soccer football field and then the baseball fields up there in the background. Our turf was redone 2 summers ago. The president invested about $3 million into our athletic facilities 2 summers ago. So this was one of the big projects. So that turf is brand new. One of the other good things about having this turf space is that along with our soccer student athletes and our football student athletes, almost all of our teams use this turf in one way or another. So I know specifically for softball, if our field's wet or it's raining, we can come out here and get a practice in. We've scrimmaged out there before. The baseball team uses it. A lot of teams will use it for strength conditioning. So it's a multi-use surface for sure. And then you can see the tennis courts off to the side, and our baseball field also has a turf infield as well. So some other awesome space. But this shot kind of shows you what I was talking about before, how close-knit all of our playing facilities are. Part of that renovation a couple of summers ago was our Sherman Gymnasium. So this is where our volleyball and basketball student athletes compete. For those of you who don't know, we're actually starting men's volleyball next year. So that's a really exciting addition to this floor. So this was taken all the way down to the studs, redesigned. It's an awesome surface for our men and women to play on. So, and then I'll just point out I'm going the wrong way. There we go. If you can look all the way to the right up there, that's that concourse. So as soon as you walk in the building, this is kind of the first thing you see, which is pretty cool. One of probably the best renovations 2 summers ago was this space right here. This is our weight room. Every single thing literally from the floor to the ceiling in this space is renovated. Hopefully Maddie and John will get a chance later to talk to you about how they utilize this space as student athletes, but there's so many bells and whistles. It's just a really awesome space for our student athletes to train in. And then down on the bottom, kind of the right and the left, we call those our auxiliary weight room spaces. Those actually used to be racquetball courts, but we wanted to find a way to really spread out and make the best use of our weight room space. So you can see one side is a cardio space. The other side, I like to call it the hotel weight room, but it's a lot of selectorized machines. But this really helps, if you want to come and get a run in, but the men's soccer team's in there lifting, you can go run and not feel like you're in the middle of their lifting session. So it's a really great way that we kind of separate some of those spaces for our students and athletes alike. And then finally, I showed this picture because, like I said, we're continually updating some of our facilities here on campus, and this is the next space. We're going to resurface this floor. This is our field house, probably the most used space here on campus between our student athletes and just the general population. You can see there's 4 full-size courts and then a 200-meter track around here. And then there are curtains that drop, and we can separate this in different ways. So in the winter months, it wouldn't be unlikely to see, the softball team on one court, maybe the track throwers in the middle, and maybe the tennis team practicing on another court while the track team runs around the track. So this is a huge advantage for those of you who play spring sports. I know, we'd love to have a domed softball field, but short of that, this is pretty much the best facility that we could ask to play in our long winter months. So we're really, really lucky to have this. And then finally, I just wanted to show kind of the other spaces. Like I said, these have all been updated. So tennis court got resurfaced. Our golf course is not on campus. It's just here in Jacksonville, but thought I'd throw that in there. We've got a swimming pool. Most of our student athletes love the hot tub and steam room and sauna that you can find in that facility. Got to throw up a picture of the softball field, of course, and then our game center for our esports student athletes. So that's kind of a quick rundown of our facilities. Like I said, we'd love to have you come here and see these in person. And while our facilities are the wow factor, what really keeps our student athletes here and what sets us apart, like I said at the beginning, are the people. So I'm going to turn it over to Coach Philpott to talk a little bit about that side of things.
Thanks, Coach Roman. Hi, everyone. I'm Evan Philpott, head men's soccer coach. I've actually been at Illinois College for just under a year, and so I haven't had an opportunity to get to know both the staff, faculty, and the student body here at Illinois College. I can say at firsthand that it's been a wonderful experience for me. I've gotten a chance to know so many wonderful people and people that truly care about the future of this school and the students. One particular individual, President Dr. Farley, has been a heavy influence on me based on her holistic approach and her feedback and her interests in the student athletes themselves. You can see her at various different games. She's involved. She sees the students. In fact, just a couple weeks ago, I had a really genuine conversation with her and a few recruits that were on campus that day. And so she's always there to greet people and to meet them because she wants to know everyone's stories and she wants them to attend Illinois College because she believes it's a wonderful place. Also, we have a fantastic athletic training staff We have 3 full-time trainers that are obviously heavily involved with all of our various different sports. I can honestly say that they are very good at what they do. They're very quick to diagnose, to evaluate the student athletes, and they all spend a lot of time in an athletic training room, and that goes to show that they truly believe in that staff, and they want to get back on the field as quickly as possible if things are have affected them, or if they've had any sort of injuries. The goal of the athletic training staff is to get them on the field as quickly as possible. But they connect with our athletes. I think our athletes have unique and very good relationships with them, and I think that's important. And we also have our first strength and conditioning coach, first full-time coach. And so Coach Bowman has been involved with us for a few months now. And so he's made a great impact on all of our various different sports. They utilize a program called Train Heroic. And so our athletes have been able to work with him one-on-one, as groups, as teams. And so he's been able to look at our athletes, check them out, see what their evaluations are, see what they can get better at, get stronger at, get faster at. And so I think our athletes have really enjoyed him. And I think it's going to be a great thing moving forward for all of our programs, just because we have somebody that is maybe not on the field with us, but off the field is determining and coming up with a game plan for us to get better as a group. And so, there's all kinds of people that are involved with everything that we do. But I do feel as if this is a place that, where I came from, I've always had a mantra or had a message for my teams. But when I came here, one word that stuck out to me was family. And across all programs, you'll hear family, and you'll see family across the chest of various different shirts of different sports and the athletes. And so it's a close-knit community. And I felt very welcomed from the very get-go. And, I think that's really important for me moving forward, just to be a part of that, be a part of a close-knit community and also a family. I think it would be a great opportunity for our student athletes to just speak on behalf of that. Both John and Maddie, I'll ask you guys a few questions, and you guys can kind of follow up with your experience here. And so I'll ask you, John, first, and then Maddie, you can follow up as well. So John and Maddie, why did you choose IC, and what are your favorite things about IC?
So I chose IC for a lot of different reasons. I originally got recruited at IC, but didn't go there at first, and it really opened my eyes. At my other school, I was kind of feeling like I was missing out on a lot of different things, whether that be facilities, close relationships, definitely education as well. But I think I chose IC at the end because there was definitely that family atmosphere that you were talking about. The soccer team, when I visited them, they came in and kind of treated me as family already on my visit. Very, very nice to me. Made sure I was included in everything, made sure I didn't feel left out, stuff like that. So it was really warming. As soon as I got there, I felt that family atmosphere, and the facilities were unmatched to my last school. Bruner's incredible. I mean, you have all the resources at hand to become a better athlete and help your team succeed. And I think Coach Bowman as well is doing a very, very good job with the lifting program. And before all of this stuff happened in the world, I was heading towards probably the best shape of my life because of that. So I think there's a lot of reasons I chose IC.
I would agree with John. I was first recruited for academics and athletics. So when I first got on campus, I was being interviewed to be in the honors program. And from there, I talked to Coach Meg, and she was showing me around, and I met the team. And just from being on campus, the one time, I knew that I had to come back. So I came back for one more visit, and in the middle of the tour, I was with my parents, and we just looked at each other, and we both knew that this was my home, that it was going to be my home. And I just felt immediately like that comfort and confidence that I was choosing night school.
Thanks, guys. Another question, what opportunities have you guys had outside of sports? Obviously, you're heavily involved with the sport, but can you kind of talk about some of the different resources or opportunities that you've been able to experience while you've been at IC?
So Division III, in season, obviously it takes up a lot of your time. You still have a little free time, but out of season, with the rules that D3 has, there's a decent amount of time on your hands to do outside of soccer. So personally, I took that time to, one, build relationships once I transferred here because I didn't know everyone. You will know everyone at one point. IC is definitely, you're going to meet everyone. You're going to know everyone on campus. You're going to see the same faces. I also just joined a literary society this past semester. I think that's a really good opportunity to involve yourself in service hours, meet new people, meet other literary society members, just to take up time during the off season and do something productive with your friends as well. So you keep building those relationships. So yeah, there's a lot of time outside of season that you have, and there's a lot of opportunities throughout campus that I personally haven't even involved myself in, which I wish I would have, like student council, student senate. There's tons of activities always going around all year. So yeah, there's a lot of opportunities outside of season that you can involve yourself in.
The two biggest things I probably involve myself in are jobs and internships, because with my major, I basically have to go to grad school, and so I'm just terrified that I'm not going to get into grad school. So like I get different internships, but I work on campus. I have a few different jobs. So in the fall, I work for almost all the athletic teams. I work for the volleyball team. I work all the soccer games, football, and then I'm also an ambassador. So I give tours around campus. So I would be like walking around if this wasn't going on. And then for internships, I have built relationships with my professors so that they've actually recommended different internships. So my majors are psychology and sociology, and I want to be a social worker out of school. So I've worked with a professor at her own clinical practice. I've worked here in town at the School for the Deaf and the School for the Visually Impaired. I have worked at, well, I'm forgetting the name of it now, but it's also a business in town that helps with older generations. And then I worked last summer in Costa Rica, and I give all my thanks to my coach for that, because she told me that I should apply, that she thinks that I would be great for it. And it was for student athletes specifically. And so I was able to do like my passion of social work, but I was also able to work with athletes and practice with them. And my bosses were athletes, professional athletes, so they knew like the life of an athlete, and it was the coolest experience I've ever had.
And the last question, can you both talk about your experiences and the support that you've gotten from your coaches, from faculty, from being a student athlete, and how they've been able to help you and support you throughout your careers?
Yeah, so personally, last season, soccer season, I was unfortunately injured for the whole season. But the support never left. Even though I was injured, I still felt like a part of the team, always included in everything. I even got to help coach on the sideline a little, and the support never left. Like I said, especially the athletic trainers. Sarah was the person who was always there for me. We did rehab every day. She was very, very adamant about getting me back on the field. We tried a couple times, just didn't work out, but her effort was unmatched. I can't thank her enough. I mean, if you're ever injured, our athletic trainers will always care about you and want you to get back on the field as soon as possible, like you do. They'll care as much as you do. So I really appreciated that. And coaches, I mean, they'll care about you. They want you to succeed not only in your sport, but after that. Personally, I think that the soccer team, I mean, I know Maddie could probably say the same about the softball team. Our coaches are interested in making us better athletes, but better people and better men and women for softball, especially. So, I mean, there's just a lot of care and a lot of love all around the athletic field. And faculty definitely is very understanding from my experiences. Every semester, I'd give them a sheet about what classes I'll have to miss and what um, homework I might be late on or whatever. And they're very understanding, and they kind of tell me that good luck and I hope you do well in your sport. So everyone's very understanding around campus with athletics. So you'll get a lot of care and love. So yeah.
John kind of hit it on the nail perfectly. I've also been injured, so I haven't been able to compete for a year, but it didn't even matter. I worked with Sarah as well, and we got my strength back up. And then my coach would always check in with me and just make sure. But it's not even like I would come to practice and she would ask if I was okay. She makes it a point to call all of us, or we have meetings just to check in. And like, we don't even have to talk about softball. She just wants to know if we're okay as people, not even athletes. And then I really appreciate that, because it just shows that like it's not just about the sport, it's like you as a person.
Thank you, guys. And that concludes our portion. So I think at this point we can pass it back to you, Katie. Is it time for questions?
Yeah, so if you guys have questions, feel free to put them in the chat. But until we do, John and Maddie, I wanted to ask you another question. I hear this a lot from students. So how do you manage time in terms of being a student athlete and also a college course load? How do you manage that?
So managing time is definitely one of the biggest challenges from being a student athlete. I think that at first, when you first get into college, I think even not being a student athlete, you'll have a lot of time on your hands because you won't have to go to classes 8 hours a day. You won't have to do chores for your parents anymore. Like, you have a tons of free time on your hands. So you kind of got to buckle down and like set your own schedule. For me personally, especially if we went on away trips, I'd always bring my homework, and sometimes we'd be going on 6-7 hour rides to Wisconsin, and I try to knock out as much homework as I could on those trips. I got a lot done on those trips. Even if we're at home, after games on the weekend, you know, we don't really have a lot to do. So after a Saturday game, Sunday game, I'd usually go back, shower, and then get started on homework, just to get my mind off soccer for a little bit, just to unwind, get me in the school mode. And yeah, I think you're just really going to have to figure out what's best for you, but that was what was best for me.
I would definitely say that scheduling is acquired. In high school, I had such a set schedule for so long, and then when I got to college, just like John said, there's so much time, so I didn't know what to do. So I just didn't do my homework until like 10 o'clock at night, and so I wouldn't be going to bed until really late. But when I was in high school, I went to bed at like 9 o'clock, so it was so different for me. For the whole semester, I wasn't used to it, and I was just tired all the time, and like I got sick like 2 or 3 times that first semester because I wasn't taking care of myself like I used to. And so I just had to get a schedule, and literally I write down what I need to do every single hour, and that has helped me tremendously. Now I will come back from class at like 11 o'clock in the morning, and I might have a 3-hour gap, and when I used to take a nap for that time, now I do some homework and just like hang out a little bit, and that has helped me build a better schedule. And since then, I am so thankful that I made my schedule a priority.
Perfect. And then I'm going to ask you guys one more question because we get this one a lot as well. Do you guys room with an athlete? And if so, do you prefer that? Do you not prefer that? We have a lot of athletes coming in that are wondering, should I room with an athlete? Should I not? Do we already spend enough time together? So can each of you guys just kind of answer your personal experience on that?
Yeah, I think rooming with an athlete is a very good idea, especially within your sport, because one, and most importantly, you're always on the same schedule. So I remember my first semester, I had some 6 a.m. workouts, and I usually sleep in if I have a chance. So my roommate definitely helped me get up and get out of bed and get to those workouts. Even if I had alarm set, I'm notorious for sleeping through them. So if it wasn't for him, I'd be missing those workouts. And like I said, you're always on the same schedule, so you have stuff to talk about, like practice, workouts, games. I mean, yeah, you're always with them during the sport, but outside, you can still build a good relationship. And even if you're rooming together, it doesn't matter because you're gonna have classes where you're away from each other for enough time that you won't butt heads. Because I know if you're with each other a lot, you might be vulnerable to butt heads. But I think there's a lot of time outside of sports where you'll meet new people, you'll interact with new people that isn't your roommate, that it won't really matter if you room with a teammate or not. So I think that rooming with a teammate in your sport is very important because of scheduling. And yeah.
I think that, I mean, obviously girls and guys are different, but I think it's like a double-edged sword kind of. It can be really good. I've lived with the same girl all 3 years, and the first year she chose just to take a year off and not play any sports. So it was just me, and it was nice because if we were together all the time, then we wouldn't have had as many things to talk about. And so she had her life with music and all sorts of different things. And then I would bring in stories about softball, and we were just able to bond more. But then sophomore year, she decided to play again. And it was great because then we saw each other all the time, but it definitely it forced us to become better communicators with each other, because there were times that it was tense, that like we would be with each other for literally 72 hours straight on a road trip and then come home and maybe be annoyed about something, but we'd still be living with each other. So we would just have to like be able to open up and release it. And so we were able to like form a better relationship. And now this year, not only do I live with her, but I live in a suite with 2 other of my teammates. And I love it because it's not just 2 rooms. We have a living room as well. And so there's this huge space that if you do happen to need your own space, I'll just go to our living room or like down the hall in our lobby or even like the library or something.
Well, thanks, guys. Well, thank you again, Coach Roman, Philpott, and then both John and Maddie. We really appreciate you guys. If you guys don't have questions now, or maybe you don't want to ask them in front of everybody, Erica's going to go ahead and post Coach Roman and Coach Philpott's contact information. And so feel free to reach out to them with any further questions, and we will definitely get those answered for you. But we look forward to having you guys on campus once this sort of all blows over. But if you have any questions, like I said, feel free to reach out to coaches, or you can always reach out to your admission counselor as well. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.